This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB on what is hopefully the final episode of Milling to Mythic as we make the Diamond 1 push with another build of Mill. So let's switch over and have a look. It's Rogues! Probably shocking to nobody. But before you turn this off, there's some big news in this intro. It's not one you're going to want to skip. There's actually going to be, you heard it here, a banned and restricted announcement tomorrow, most likely. I'll get into that in just a second. Let me talk about this deck, then we're going to talk about banned and restricted, then we're going to play games of Magic the Gathering. It's a good schedule. It's a good setup. I've done it before. It works out. Trust me. You'll like it. So, what are we doing in the Mill pile? How is this different from other rogue decks? Really, the differences are that we straight up run Teferi's Tutelage. And we're not trying to control the board, we're trying to play a combined Mill and Aggro game plan, which is something that hasn't really existed in Magic before. So in a way, it's very, very fresh. In another way, it's very, very frustrating. The dedicated Mill cards that you saw in my blue-black control deck are Tutelage and Crab. Here, we still have Tutelage and Crab, but instead of surrounding them with removal spells, we surround them with cards that can attack and block. Those would be Vantress Gargoyle, Soaring Thought Thief, and Thieves' Guild Enforcer, all of which are really good rates. Soaring Thought Thief is a 2/3 flying lord when the opponent has a full graveyard. Thieves' Guild Enforcer has a 3/2 for 1 mana with Death Touch, and Gargoyle as a 5/4 flyer. All of those are really low cost for high stats if the opponent's graveyard is full. So the mill you kill you strategy, while people have tried to build it before, it's never had the stat bombs that this version has. But don't be afraid to shift gears, and let me tell you what I'm talking about. There's going to be a lot of games where we're taking a beating and we don't have sweepers in our deck, and we don't have life gain in our deck, and we don't have very many removal spells in our deck. Drown in the Lock, and you could say Mystical Dispute can counter a creature. That's it. With that in mind, you don't want to be too aggressive. There's going to be a lot of games where we're just flashing these things in and trying to use Into the Story to keep our hand full so that this can block, and we're just trying to block our opponent's creatures and trade that way while the passive mill plan works. On the other hand, against more controlling decks and more reactive decks, we want to play our creatures and attack with them, force the opponent to respect it, and try to deal with these creatures so that we can turn it around and do our mill game plan and get them that way. It's really fun because you have to analyze where you're at in the game pretty often. Not every single turn. Sometimes you just come out aggressive and are able to stay that way. But on a lot of turns, you have to be like, well, how am I going to win this game? Am I going to mill them out, or am I going to attack them out? What's going to work the best? And how is that going to play? So it's a very fun deck. I like it, and I don't think I have to explain too many of the cards. If you've been playing Magic, you've seen these cards a lot these days. I will say this, you should read Vantress Gargoyle every time you play it and every time you play against it, because people forget the stats on this very often. They think it's 8 because Thieves Guild is 8. It's actually 7 cards in hand. And it can't attack unless there are 7 or more cards or graveyard, but it's 4 or more cards in hand. See, I said it wrong just now, even though I think you know what I meant. I just said it wrong. But yeah, this card has different numbers. It has a 4, it has a 7, it has a 5/4 stats. It's only 2 mana. There's too much math here. Just read the card and try not to mess it up, especially when you play against it. Really try to figure out if you can attack, whether or not this can block, and also whether or not the opponent can cast Frantic Inventory or Into the Story before blocks so that you get blocked by this thing. It's an interesting card to play against. Okay, I've introduced this deck. The last thing I'm going to say about it, it was almost 4s all the way down. Do you see this? 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. My old school Magic brain, even in the mana base, my old school Magic brain just loves a deck that of all 4-ofs, and then I ruined it to run Seagate Restoration and Agadeem's Awakening. And considering that Seagate Restoration, sometimes you can cast Into the Story, untap, cast Restoration with a Tutelage out, and their deck is just empty. So I still think it's worth having, but if you turned it into Awakening for the mono 4-of, I would understand. All right, let's do the news part of the show. Breaking news, but not shocking news. There's a BNR announcement on Monday. What's really fun about this announcement, and by the way, this is Robert Taylor at Fireshoes on Twitter, one of my favorite sources for competitive Magic news, deck list, and meta info. Strongly recommended. But breaking news, but not shocking news. There's a BNR announcement on Monday. Well, the Grand Finals is going on right now, featuring the best players in the world playing Standard and Historic. And there has been no announcement from Wizards of the Coast saying that there is going to be an announcement. There's been no official announcement of this BNR. So how do we know about it? I'm going to try to zoom in on this. I know it's hard to see. Actually, it's not zooming in very well at all. So I'm going to try to narrate it. What you may or may not be able to see in the tiny text is, number one, the URL. So the URL is the official wizards.com articles archive, and it has news/October 12th, tomorrow, today, when you're watching this, 2020 banned and restricted announcement. And then it says you are not authorized to access this page. So what I love about this is that Wizards of the Coast has banned so many cards this year. And they are so... let's use the word particular. Wizards is so particular about the way that they name and organize their articles. They're so buttoned up that somebody was able to try to enter this URL because they knew what it would be. Because all the banned and restricted announcements have the same format. Articles/archive/news/date spelled out this way. Sorry, Europeans. This is how we do it in America. Month, day, date, and then dash banned, dash end, dash restricted, dash announcement, which is funny because nothing even gets restricted anymore. But somebody just basically typed this in, and if the page didn't exist whatsoever, you would get like a 404 error or something like that. But the fact that this worked and it says you are not authorized to access the page, what we are assuming it means is that the announcement is already written, might still be edited, already written, and like spaceholder posted and ready to go live Monday morning. And somebody figured out it existed by basically using the URL that they knew it would be. So, is it time to say goodbye to Omnath? Are they willing to do that? Or do you think that they'll do something along the lines of Clover, Genesis Ultimatum, Escape to the Wilds, and try to shake up the format without banning Omnath? Guys, Omnath is the most broken card since Oko. After playing my Oko versus Omnath, I don't believe it is better than Oko. I believe Oko is the most broken card we've ever played. But I think that Omnath is right there. Like, way better than Fires. Way better than Cat. Still funny to me that that's been banned. So yeah, it's got to go. Maybe not this time, but it should be this time. So I'm going to go live on Twitch as soon as a ban announcement goes live. If you guys want to come hang out and talk about the ban announcement, that's what we are going to do. Maybe we'll pre-brew some new decks, or maybe we'll just read it 4 times, read the Twitter reactions, and make fun of various things on the internet in my snarky, wisecracking way. So hopefully I'll see you on Twitch when the ban goes live. In the meantime, let's go get that Mythic before the meta rotates and I have to use my brain. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Going second is so much fun. Umori, though. The heck? Haven't seen that in a few minutes. Let's see what happens. If they're going to play 100% creatures, Mill can't be good, right? Not really. I mean, maybe it's Mutate. Too bad I can't hold up Mystical Dispute. Mana's a bit too awkward for that. Second inventory seems good. If they're Mutate, we'd really want to counter a Polywog Symbiote here, but they don't play one. I think we say go. I think rushing out the Gargoyle would be silly when we might be able to counter something. Okay, they're really on a slow hand. I want an opponent with a slow hand. Alright, we're going to try to hold up disputes all over the place, but let's get a gargoyle on the field. Next turn, get a tutelage on the field, fill up their graveyard. Get the machine going. Alright, Scootate. So now we should be thinking of countering whatever it is they play, even if it's green. So we sit. I could just try to mill them out quickly, but I think while I have the disputes, I may as well try to keep finding land and move the game along that way. Ooh, no land drop? No land drop. And we got lucky and pulled one. Oh, it's gonna get violent. You can feel it. Is there another great horn? There is another great horn. They just wanted to meme. They just wanted to scootate. Not on my watch. Now they can attack. Let's see if they know it. More people have read Vantress Gargoyle lately than ever, but can't block when I have 3 cards in my hand. Alright, let's start the party. What to discard? If we play the second Restoration, we can double tutelage this turn, and then next turn play Frantic Inventory, so I guess this will do. 2 Sterix. Savage. Oh, that's better. That's better. So, do we go for the mill, or do we go for the kill? Obviously, the answer is both. See if we can deal them to 0 and empty their library at the same time. New objective. It's mean, but we're gonna do it. Our opponent finds Gem Razor, takes out a gargoyle. Okay, that lowers the odds of us pulling this off. Lots of Gem Razors in the field. Big reason not to play this deck at all, quite frankly, but we are gonna try anyhow, because we are crazy. It wasn't lethal, but it was mentally lethal. That's a hand. We're going to need a little more mill to make it good. To get into the story to work. It's actually like a 4-lander with 2 cards and something that will help later, maybe. What you got? Mauling. Could be rogues, could be many things. Let's get a look. It's rogues. That's a good card. But how do we fill their graveyard a little bit more? That's the question. Ugh. The draw has not been on our side yet. If they have a Thought Thief, we can drown it. Or counter it. Okay. Gargoyle. Are you good enough? It can be a total house against the rogue deck. And they usually have to spend something to get rid of it. It's better than drawing a land, that's for sure. Might get milled here. Heartless Act on the Enforcer. Yeah. I don't have, like, a bunch of rogues to gang up with it. So right now, that can go. Where's my crab? I need Mr. Crab. Vantress. Opponent lets it live. Assuming, of course, that they had a choice. 1 card graveyard, 3 cards graveyard. Agadim's Awakening tapped. Interesting. Trying to decide if I just wanted to shock that for the opportunity to Mystical Dispute a non-blue spell and cast Drowning the Loch. Decided that was pretty unlikely. But we do want to slow roll the crack on the passage because it turns on their Drowning the Loch to kill the Gargoyle. Of course, Gargoyle turns itself on here in a second. Ready? Here it comes. And I mean turns on Drowning the Loch for the opponent to kill it, if that was unclear. Second Garg. Let's go, Gargoyle. Let's go. Let's go, Gargoyles. Let's go. Is our opponent rogues for sure? Yeah, they are. Alright. We want to fight because we need to fill these graveyards to cast Into the Story, and we need to wear out counter spells. So they're on 5. We can pass the turn, mill 6, mill again 7, cast Into the Story. The Wind Wabba. He wobs the wind. Like a wascally wind wabba. Don't ask. I don't know where this is coming from. If I could explain it, maybe I wouldn't anyway. Alright. I don't want to drown this in the lock, so I think we activate this attack with 1. Into the Story is live, and the opponent has no blue, so we should cast it. That feels better. Oh yeah, the full hand feels so much better. Our opponent's on 42, we're on 40. They're actually beating us in the milling? Well, I mean, we did just draw 4. We're contributing to our own demise. They say go. They're having some mana issues. That is clear. Tough turn. I think we're going to want all 7 mana available, and I think something about these is about to die. Let's go find out. That's a lot of damage to take. So we're probably playing counter Gargoyle here. Okay. Opponent's going to take it? Fine. Let's start the psychological warfare. We should be focusing on killing the opponent, but I refuse. I'm going to frickin' mill them. I'm going to mill them whether you like it or not. Discard a card. Don't need you. Meanwhile, over here we have a Thought Thief and a Thieves Guild Enforcer to get back, so that's looking good. Zareth and a Thought Thief, so more traditional rogues. What are you going to do about these 5/4s? You're going to need a lot of Heartless Act. They thinking. One thing you're going to need to do is block with that Wind Robber. That part I know. That part I'm sure. Do we make a move here with Drowning the Loch? No, we don't. Agadim's Awakening for a second Wind Robber. You know what? I'm feeling charitable today. This is going to make some people mad. Sound off in comments. I really want the mill and the kill. It's like a 2-for-1, but crazier. I want the mill and the kill. So they're going to block, block, draw, draw. They're at 37 cards. So we've got actually a lot of work, and we need these gargoyles to not kill them, which might be hard. Yes. Oh, also, this is your time, chat. chat. Sorry. This is your time, comments. This is your time. It really is. You love telling me when I miss lethal. I'm missing lethal, you guys. I'm missing it so much right now. Actually, we don't want to play that, do we? The opponent will definitely know that they're beaten. Here, we can let them have hope. Hope is a powerful thing. Tell you what, opponent, I'm going to tap out completely to see if you can get out of this. That is my gift to you. I really want the empty library and empty life total. That's what I want. True MTG Arena accomplishment Sunday. They say go. Aw, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? 17, 15, 12. Into the story. Drown in the lock. I drown your drown in the lock in the lock. What now? Don't scoop. You. Wait, they don't have a flyer. Okay, I'll pay. I'll pay. Deal. Good sport. Good sport. You understand the beauty of the mill and the kill. See? Complete with 0-3 attack. No library, no life. Ah. Smells so good. Good hand, good hand. Lots to do. 2 lands. Hopefully we draw out of that. But lots of gargoyling and enforcing going on. Do we play the passage and avoid taking damage from the awakening? Nah, let's get on the board, baby. That doesn't telegraph what's going on at all. I will mill your planes. All of them. You'll fetch nothing. You will find nothing. Doom foretold. Great. Complete with mystical disputes. Ah, what a cheater. I say that sarcastically. You will take 1. And like it. Alright, can we get the tutelage down and avoid Doom foretold? I don't think we can. Right? Because we went second? Yeah. Okay. So, if we run out tutelage, we're just gonna... bad things are gonna happen. That play really telegraphs Doom foretold. But you have to discard, which helps fill your graveyard for me. Ooh, that's a good draw. That's a good draw. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that gets me to 7, so I can attack with the gargoyle now. It doesn't get me to 8 for the enforcer, though. But we can put the pressure on the life total, which I think is going to be important here, being the beatdown and all. Also, with a treacherous blessing on the field, you just want to really tax your opponent. But we have to leave up Drown in the Lock for the Doom. We can't let them out from under the blessing. These go up to 3/2, so the opponent's under a ton of pressure. They need to Wrath or Doom. Even Doom might be too slow. Opponent pulls the rope out for this particular turn. Big decision. So much at stake. Who knew the mill deck would pressure you this way? I've got a serious question for the viewers. Where are my crabs? 0 opening hands with crabs. It's resulted in me having to attack my opponents and deal damage to them instead of milling them, which some would say absolutely jeopardizes. It just absolutely jeopardizes the integrity of my channel when there is the potential of clickbait for calling it milling to mythic if I damage my opponent too. Like, some people can't handle that duality in the world. They need a world without all that duality in it, man. It just stresses them out too much. Well, that was a turn. We had a turn. Call for the crab, you will have the crab. I think our opponent has given up. Given up on life. Tragic. Truly. They don't want to be on YouTube. They're trying to make the game look bad. Sir, I will have you know, or madam, I will have you know, I am way too busy today to record extra games. So this one goes in. There will be, nothing's getting cut, man, unless it's like a 2-minute game and the actual runtime turns out to be something like 58 minutes and there leaves no time for an intro. Like, I'm not cutting anything. You can't get out of this by AFKing. Plus, some people like my banter with AFKs. You love it when they play Treacherous Blessing and then proceed to die. I've been there. I've played the Doom Foretold deck. I know the feeling. Well, I drew 3 extra cards. Now there's no way I live. Good stuff. You're not luring me in, though. I'm holding up the counter. I'm doing it. You're only half dead, and you're a control deck, so I can't let you play a long game with me. I can't pretend I can play with my food like I can with an aggro. Or a fellow roguer. Control decks have big, powerful, late-game states that must be respected. Same with ramp decks. Like, those are the decks we gotta kill, and kill them dead. Let's use this time together. People have commented on these Vault shirts. Some people like them, some people hate them. I'm going to tell you the truth about this shirt. Are you ready? Might surprise you. It's blue. That's why I wear it. It's blue and it's super soft. I was able to get an insane amount of these at a very low price. I think because of something to do with the not so popular popularity of the game. I've never played it. But it's blue. And it identifies me in the YouTubes as the gamer. You see, I'm trying to communicate with the gamers. But now only you guys who were willing to sit at regular speed through that roping, only you know that. It's between us. 3 wins from Mythic, and we're on the play at last. This hand is something. It's gonna need a land off the top. Temple of Silence, nice. Let's head straight to Gargoyle Town. Because if we hit the 2 tutelages in a row, this could be online very quickly. Gives it a read. Gives it a Hollow Blade. Well, I can block that. Black-white Hollow Blade. What's going on? Let's fire off the inventory and try to hit our land. Fail. Not good. Not good, everybody. Triple tutelage duo land. That's really not good. It does exile things from the opponent's graveyard, not from mine, which is nice. But now Hollowblade and I just aren't getting along. Well, at least it wasn't a land. It's a land! Okay, we can drown in the lock this general. We can do that if we tap the gargoyle, that is. Maybe we block here, tap gargoyle, mill, kill general. If the opponent has an indestructibility effect that gets destroyed, like really messed up. The other thing we could do is slam the tutelage, but we're falling too far behind, I think. If the opponent removes gargoyle, attacks with both, that's really bad. And we paid 3 life, that's no good. Uh-oh. It's the puppers! Well, I can't kill this then, can I? I could counter this. Gosh, this is bad. This is so bad. But I can counter this. That gets it up to 2 cards in graveyard. It holds back the general. We're wrecked. Like we're absolutely wrecked. Look at this. Look at this. Not close. Missed land drop. Game over. Black-white humans. Easy mythic. Really? Really, guys? Still not a land. Magic the Gathering, everyone. Magic the Gathering. Alright, 1 Thieves Guild Enforcer. We needed a second one. There's no way to get to a second one. So we'll get a look at our opponent's deck. It worked great! They played 2 cards and beat me to death with them. Ugh. I'm kind of disgusted with myself for losing this, but you can't beat the Mana Screw engine. Good lord, is that a crab in my opening hand? I thought the day would never come. You can scoop now if you wish. I understand. The crab is particularly tilting to the Zoomers of the world who just want to play their game their way and have the fun, thinking that everyone's having fun, but really it's about them having fun. Shall we, Gargs? If the opponent plays anything... And it looks like they're a control deck, so we've just got to establish board presence here. Looks like another Esper player. What's up with those? I mean, I usually respect the Esper. I just don't know where this is coming from. Alright. I was hoping they'd play something we could drown so we could attack with the Gargoyle this turn. That is not the way it worked out. Life goes on. Black or blue? Blue, I suppose. For Into the Story. And now we're low on land, but this mills a card. This can get flashed in. We're in a good spot. Dance of the Manse, you say? I will activate Vantress Gargoyle. I will cast Soaring Thought Thief. Try to draw a counter or removal. Milling the Dance of the Manse deck. Oh, good. Get ready for a wild ride. Needed that land. Didn't get it. But we do get to keep milling the opponent, and now we pressure their life total. Intensely. 7 points a turn with 2 counter spells. They're going to have to get out of this. Let's see if they can. So far, the only thing they've played is a freaking Confounding Conundrum. Which we have to remember if our opponent dares. Like, if we draw a Fabled Passage, we better remember this exists. It would be too embarrassing. Easy mode. Solid effort, opponent. Suffer the attack of the crab. My goodness, we are just milling all the lands out of their deck, and they're still fine. How many non-lands have we actually milled? 2? 3? 3 non-lands out of 13, 12 cards. Uh-huh. Let's see if you have a Mystical Dispute to keep the game interesting. What a warrior. Well done. I warned you about this. I think we let it happen anyway, though, right? Nah. We can activate it on our opponent's turn now that we've set up the... We tried to kill you. It failed. Now I'm going to mill you. Plus, you have to respect this gargoyle. It's almost lethal. 3 Doom Fortolds. Although their Dance of the Manse is looking nice. It must be said, if they have Dance right here, they've got this thing. Archon of Sun's Grace, huh? Okay. Gotta do this now. Can't have Confounding Conundrum ruining my day. Mill him. Alright. Let's look around. 1 Omen, 2 Omen of the Sea. They could have that to flash in and make a Pegasus. And then a double block would be very good for them. They could have their own Drown in the Loch, which can't counter into the story, because it's actually converted mana cost of 7. I think we try to pressure them with the Gargoyle and see what they do. Takes the damage, goes to 1. Gutsy. Alright, so what could they have? They could have Mystical Dispute. We've already seen one of those. There's a second one in the graveyard there. We could play around that with the Enforcer. They could be planning a very evil Dance of the Manse, in which case they get back a lot of Doom Fortolds. 1, 2... If they get back 3 Doom Fortolds, then we lose our crabs, then we lose out on a lot of mill. I think we're supposed to go for this. Mystical Dispute is a punishment, Drown in the Loch isn't. And we see 2 Mystical Disputes in the graveyard, and it resolves. And we really get paid off by hitting a Fabled Passage. Stop on their upkeep, mill them again on their upkeep, playing around Confounding Conundrum on our turn, but still hitting them before their draw step. Oh my goodness. I don't know how they ever hit their land drops in this game, the way that we milled them. We milled so many land. Now we want to be careful. We want these 2 to resolve. There's a Doom Foretold, sure. Makes a token, sure. 9 cards in the deck, though. And a Conundrum, okay. So this will resolve. And they draw another card. And they get a 2/2. So 6 cards. Go up to 4. Let's tap this, mill both players. Sacrifice it to Doom Foretold. 6-point mill. Oh yeah. Easy empty library. And then we can mill them again on their upkeep if they make a play. So if they like flash something in that somehow puts something back on top of their deck, we can mill them again by playing the Thought Thief with the Enforcer. Niche, but something to think about. Are we getting roped? I hit the auto pass to end my turn. They would have so maybe they turned on full control for the LOLs. They're trying to figure it out. What do we do with no library? It's too much pressure, and it will end the game. That hand works. It works. Where is Omnath? Where are you? Doesn't anybody want to play Omnath like one more time before it gets banished from all of Magic, we can hope? Here, Omnath, Omnath, Omnath. When I see the Triome these days, that's what I think of. Here's a Gargoyle. Clover, yep. All right, and we drew the land. Big draw. Now what do we do? I guess we hold back on Enforcer and work on the opponent's library a little. Let's make more blue. This is not the quickest mill hand I've ever seen. We could counter that. Okay. You talked me into it. We'll see if it's nice or not. If we get Omnathed, I guess we got them up to 2. This is 3. This is 4, 5. We can get there. No, wait. We only have 1 black. That's terrible. Should I try to draw into another one just to hit my land drop since I'm going to end up playing Frantic Inventory this turn anyway? I guess that's not necessarily true. It's just if they have an Omnath, this is only 3 cards. I think this is the right play. The only thing that gets punished here is 3rd Clover. Nice. So I do want to play this as black, though. But then I can't drown. I guess we play it as blue. We'll find another black. Don't worry. We're not making plays? Haha, got your fabled passage, bruh. And your Beanstalk Giant. 5. This is 6, 7. This turns up the heat. They have a Brazen Borrower. That's too bad, and our Drown in the Locks get stuck on our hand, and that's too bad, but we're going for it. Let's kill this deck. Wreck them. Fabled Passage. Tell me I hit your Tell me I hit your basics. Ah, there's the Omnath. Can drown you in the lock and kick you in the face, as one should. Yeah. It feels good. Crab. And it actually is a 3-lander. And it will fill the graveyard quickly, so Into the Story matters. I wonder if I'm supposed to shock. Shock? Bolt. I wonder if I'm supposed to bolt. Nah, that's too aggressive. Just play the tap land. The next turn you can play the crab, bolt if you want to, play the Enforcer. Opponent's giving me mono red face. I don't like it. Quit it. Quit it. Thank you. Doggo. Away we go. I've already got a bad feeling that this is going to be one of those games where being on the draw is a punish. Like a savage punish. Oh, man. Oh, the critters are coming. Yeah, hello. Shut up. I'm playing for Mythic. This is intense. This is intense gamer moments, okay? Don't mess with it. So, which land? If we shock for this, we can play the Enforcer, but it's a long way from being active. I think we just play a tap land here. Three land off the top. Let's hope you didn't need those. Or no, let's hope you did need those. Yeah, missed land drop. Okay. Bone Crusher Giant, no blocks. Looking okay. Looking okay. Land for turn. Mill you. Thieves Guild Enforcer flash in, and we have Drown in the Lock, and we also have Frantic Inventory. The pack leader is gone. What will they do without their pack leader? The 2-land assault continues. Here's Thieves Guild Enforcer. There goes one Bone Crusher Giant. At least I was right about that being in the deck. Let's leave the Charger alone, because it can trade with the Enforcer because of the death trigger. Work on the goodest of dogs. So selfless. My doggy's selfless. And to those who ask me all the time, I don't always want to talk about it on stream, for obvious reasons, you'd think, but people keep asking. My dog is doing well right now, and thank you very much for everybody who cares. I just don't want to talk about it every day. Alright, now the Bone Crusher Giant. Crab did its job. Got us up to 9, so this Into the Story is good. And we got to keep our Thieves Guild Enforcer. Let's try to save the Fable Passage. And let's say go. This is going to be a defend my life total, mill the opponent game. At least that's my big plan. This will be a bit of a tilt, I think. You know that milling 3 land? That thing we did on turn 2? It's looking pretty epic now, isn't it? Mill just... Their draw was going to be perfect. They kept a 2-lander, and they had 3 lands on top of their deck in a row to curve out, and we ruined it. We ruined it with Mill. That's why everybody hates Mill so much. Pass. Let's not. Fresh 4. Scoop them up. 1 win from Mythic, baby. Esports! 1 game from Mythic, double crab opener, snap keep. It has to be mono red. Doesn't count if it's not mono red. Crap. Oh well. What do you know? I'll take it. What the heck is this? Party? You're gonna party. Do I want this? Yeah. It blocks. Well, once we into the story and draw, it blocks these things. Crab assertion of dominance. No lands in their top 6. How do they stack their deck? I've got to figure these things out. Alright, tapped land base camp. Milieu. Guys, we don't want to clickbait this video. We're going milling to Mythic, okay? We're going all in on the mill strat here. Oh, no land. Alright. I'm dumping the Gargoyle. It can't block if I don't get to cast Into the Story, and now I'm not sure I'm going to cast that on time. Our opponent's party deck hasn't cast a creature yet. That's definitely not good for them. Party requires creatures. Limvala. Shield of Seagate. Mystical Dispute is late. We're going to miss a land drop here, which honestly is the only way we're going to lose this game, is if we miss these land drops. So I'm just going to hold up the dispute. I'm just going to hold up the dispute, but this is the fail. This is the fail scenario. We were on a roll. We got half their library into their graveyard. If we don't draw a land for the rest of the game, we could definitely lose. We can cast everything in our deck except for Into the Story, which means we're drawing castable cards. Ooh. Do I care? Nah. In fact, we can ambush that. Opponent not willing to get ambushed here. Makes sense. Down to 17. The Magistrate. Does that matter to me? I don't think so. And it's a wizard and this is a wizard, so it doesn't really help the party. I don't think this matters to my deck. I haven't read every card in my deck thinking about it, but there you go. Land. Alright, we're gonna maximize for crab value, since we'll still have a Mystical Dispute. Oh, this is looking like a Mythic milling, baby. I can feel it. Can you feel it? I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. 20 cards. I see 10 and I see 9. Oh my gosh, all we need to do is untap, draw land off of Into the Story. They tap out for the Thief of Heartbeats, which is a very cool card that I must now counter. It had to be Party. I never would have guessed if I was playing my Mythic game this season that it would be Party. I would have guessed Omnath and Rogues. And I swear I would have been right most of the time. But instead, Party, Party, Party. A brave soul trying to make Party work in Constructed. That's all it took. If we hit a land, it was lethal. Give it to me. Esports! Show me the number. You guys want the number? You guys want the number? You want the number? Behold! Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I have never entered Mythic ranked this high. It's amazing, right? You guys see it? It's epic. It's perfect. It's behind my profile picture. And I knew that. And it's actually not that high. 680, I'll take it. We'll take 680 with 20 days left in the season. We're still top 1K. Now let's see what an Omnath banning does to shake things up here in this meta. And probably a Clover banning too. Oh, goodness gracious. I guess I'm going to roll right into the outro. Usually I record the outro separately, but let's just go back and take a look. Is there anything I'd change about the deck? Not necessarily. If you like Mill, I think this deck is just fine. The biggest thing I'm going to look to cut is Mystical Dispute, but I won't cut that while Omnath is still legal. I won't cut that while Dimir Rogues is still heavily played. Because in the Rogue Mirror, you have to win a Mystical Dispute war and resolve an Into the Story to kind of get ahead and make the game yours. So Mystical Dispute is so essential to that. The opponent will have no problem holding up 2 mana for Drowning the Lock. You have to be able to go Into the Story plus Mystical Dispute to make it work. So right now, I wouldn't change the deck too much. Frantic Inventory is the card that's a bit so-so, but I'm not going to play... I thought about playing Nighthawk Scavenger. If you want to beat Mono Red, you can pull Mystical Dispute out, put in Nighthawk Scavenger, and have a better deck against Mono Red and Mono Green. But this deck was definitely... It did what it was designed to do. It smashed its way straight up to Mythic, emptying libraries along the way, making me not a clickbait gamer. So, thank you for watching this epic Mythic video. And by the time you watch this, the format could already be outdated. Remember to come join me on Twitch. I'll be on Twitch tomorrow hanging out to talk about the new format. And I've already scheduled time to record with Arjuna for an Arena Craft podcast reacting to bans if you can't make it to Twitch. Also, reminder, since people come and go from watching my videos, the Twitch VODs are public right now. So if you want to watch them back on Twitch, you are welcome to do so. You just go to my Twitch link, then click on videos, then click on the most recent broadcast. All right. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video where hopefully Omnath is banned and you can always say you were there when CGB milled to Mythic. Goodbye.